Do you know why crows look like desks? There are many inexplicable things in this world, just like how I like you, without any reason. Actually, I just saved my life that day. If you really want to repay me, please help me find a safe place to live. A few days later, Yun presented the property certificate with Mo's name added to it in front of him. Hey! Can we still play like this? Is there a safer place than me? No silly white sweetness, updated periodically. Keywords of the novel. Twins of glass. Clouds rise and fall for you, no pop-ups, twins of glass. Clouds rise and fall for you, download the complete TXT collection, Twins of Glass. Clouds rise and fall for you, latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Monet. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Monet. Hello everyone, my name is Monet, Monet's MO, helpless male. I am a very ordinary person. He is a second-year student in a regular high school, actually a key city. The grades are average, just stable in the top 10 of the school. She has an average appearance, in fact, the love letters she receives often fill the drawers and need to be cleaned regularly. Confession is a common occurrence since kindergarten. Of course, I'm not saying so much to show off, but that I'm just too ordinary in my family. My father, Mo Zhong, is the eldest son of a famous entrepreneur. At an age when he should have inherited his family business naturally, he gave up everything and went out alone to start a business. Starting from setting up a street vendor, he gradually established the Mo Group step by step. Now Mo Group is involved in various fields, perhaps because his father sold everything when he set up a street vendor, except for himself. My mother, Ishi, is a mixed-race child with half of her body flowing with the blood of a certain royal family. She is a famous designer who mainly designs clothing and occasionally involves accessories and bags. A piece of clothing designed by my mother can be auctioned off for at least 1,000,000 yuan, so there have also been cases where the maid at home picked up design drawings scattered under the desk and sold them. Of course, the maid was later dismissed and accompanied by a lawyer's letter. Next, I want to talk about a very important person, my sister Emily, who is the protagonist of this article. My older sister is a knowledgeable and cultured person, with a particularly intelligent mind. She is a proper child of someone else's family. The overall ranking of the school is either first or second, and each time it is ranked first with a difference of 1 point compared to another divine person. Sometimes I suspect that she was intentional, and her answer later confirmed my idea. The original sentence, licking his paws while eating potato chips. Oh, well, don't you think it's boring to always get a perfect score without any suspense? So, every time I take an exam, I guess what that guy can do and what he doesn't know, and then I'm either 1 point ahead of him or behind him. It's a bit of fun to add to the mundane exam. Hee, what else can I do here besides hee? It can only be said that they are academic achievers and know how to play. Although our family has a bit of money and power, it seems like there is more than just a little bit. Our parents have taught us since childhood that money is an external thing, and we should be cautious of arrogance and impatience. If we have anything we want, we must work hard to get it ourselves. If we rely on our family all the time, we will never grow up. So, except for staying at the main residence on holidays, we usually live in school district houses, just tens of millions of small villas, near the school. My sister and I don't have any luxury cars for pick-up and drop-off every morning. We either take the bus or the subway, or ride bicycles. We usually have lunch in the cafeteria, and occasionally bring a bento made by our head chef. The school we attend is integrated with middle and high schools. Before entering junior high school, there is a special exam. Only those who meet the standards can be admitted. After enrollment, if they have excellent grades, they can skip the middle school entrance exam and be promoted directly to the high school department. My sister is a direct student. Sister, as the standard child of another family, she is well behaved, sensible, and excellent. She was once my idol in my heart and the goal I wanted to pursue. Of course, she also had a little jealousy. Everything has been maintained until one night when I was 10 years old, I woke up to solve my personal urgent needs. As I passed by my sister's room, I saw a figure leaping down from the window on the third floor through the partially open door. Hey, is that a thief? No, I rubbed my eyes and tiptoed into my sister's room. The blanket was bulging, and I carefully lifted it. It's a pillow, I said after realizing that the situation was not right. I immediately rushed to the window, and the people downstairs seemed to know that I would appear. They stood in place and smiled evil at me at the window before quickly disappearing into the night. Wow, what a handsome brother. No, although the soft long hair has been replaced by the slightly curly short hair, the facial features and height are exactly the same as that of my sister. It's definitely my sister. I followed the window and touched it, but there were no ropes or props, so I jumped down like this. This is the third floor. This book has been signed internally, so everyone can rest assured to invest. If you think it's good, you can give a recommendation ticket to encourage ducks. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Mo Lee. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Mo Lee. Hello everyone, I am Mo Lee, Monet's sister who is not ordinary or even a bit elusive. In fact, I am not as unique as I said. At most, I am just an ordinary person with strong learning ability. The first time I realized that I was a bit different from the people around me was when I was 3 years old. A well-known band came to perform in a city, and my parents took me, my younger brother was not yet born, to attend a symphony concert together. The concert ended, and my mom and dad led me out of the hall. Xiaoli, how do you feel? Is the concert a bit boring for children? My mother, who was immersed in the beautiful afterglow, did not forget to ask me about my feelings. I touched my chin with both fingers, looking lost in thought. My mother seemed to be adorable by my young adult appearance, squatting in front of me, waiting for my answer with a smile. It sounds nice, but just. However, at that level, shouldn't everyone be able to do it? If everyone can play, there is no value in coming here to appreciate, right? Hey. Not everyone can achieve that level, Xiaoli. In the performance just now, even a master would have to practice for a long time to perform. Is it like this? But I can do it too. My mother was surprised by my serious expression, which didn't seem like a lie. Before I could express my opinion, the uncle next to me interjected and said, "Children, you can't talk big at a young age. There's no need for me to lie." Feeling a bit disgusted by the contemptuous look from the nearby uncle, I turned my head and looked straight into his eyes, looking fearless. This gaze. If it weren't for her petite stature and childish voice, it would be unimaginable for a child to have such a gaze. "Child, I know the administrator here. Would you dare to try it with uncle?" The uncle bent over and reached out to me, looking like an invitation. Stimulation method. Although I am only 3 years old, I am not a fool. But it seems that this uncle looks down on children very much. It's okay to prove it to him. I put my hand on uncle's hand. "Husband, this. It's okay, let Xiaoli give it a try." Mo Zhong patted Yishi's shoulder and comforted her. Uncle took us to a practice room, where almost all kinds of musical instruments were present. I looked around and then walked straight to the piano, skillfully climbing onto the chair in front of it. "Can the children get all the keys? Do you need any help?" "No need." I closed my eyes, recalled the scene earlier, and then casually tapped a few keys with my fingers. Just as everyone thought I was a prank, my fingers began to jump lightly on the piano keys. The familiar melody permeates the room, and I have chosen a small section without using too many adjacent keys. At the end of a section, before everyone could fully recover from the shock, I jumped out of the chair and came to the violin. I switched to another section, followed by guitar, piccolo, small drum, small gong, triangular iron. Different instruments played different passages, almost piecing together a symphony concert. After the performance, I gently put down my instrument and walked up to the uncle. I crossed my hands behind me and looked at him without any emotional expression. Uncle seemed a bit skeptical of what had just happened. Have you ever learned it? No, besides, she's so young, how could we let her learn so much at once? Is that absolute pitch? Is it innate? Genetic? Probably. Is it hereditary? I frowned. There was no particularly talented member in the family, and besides pride, there was also a hint of panic in my parents' expressions. Or is it my illusion? That's really great, talent. Do children have any interest in this area? How about Uncle recommending you to the team leader here? I'm not interested. I ran to my parents and opened my hands, looking like I was begging for a hug. Mommy, I'm a bit tired. I want to go home and even want to eat macarons made by Mommy herself. Okay, let's go home. My mother doted on me and walked out. I lay my head on my mother's shoulder, watching the uncle getting farther and farther away from me. In that person's eyes, there was incredible envy, appreciation, and a lot of greed. At that time, I didn't understand why I, as a child, would make him show that kind of expression, but my intuition told me that it was a dangerous human. Or rather, it was my behavior that triggered this danger. Since then, I have learned to hide my sharpness when facing people other than those I trust. With the addition of some truth I later learned, I even went so far as to please my parents. In front of everyone, I looked like a small and elegant lady, knowledgeable, understanding, and someone else's child. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. The truth is. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. The truth is, 4 years ago, Monet sat at the dining table, constantly forking the eggs on the plate while peeking at Emily across from her. 144. Emily picked up the cup and elegantly took a small sip of the milk. 144. 144 is 12 square, what's wrong? Emily suppressed the urge to spray milk and gently put down her cup. Dear Xiao Nana, you've peeked at me 144 times just during breakfast time. What's wrong? Do you think I'm a foodie, sister? No, there is. The knife made a sharp sound on the plate, and Monet's face turned red from holding it back. I've told my sister several times, don't call me little Nana. It's Milky. Hey, isn't it quite cute? I remember not long ago you were just a little kid who could only moan around your sister. How cute you were back then. Now, you can talk back, hey. Sure enough, last night, that was my sister, right? The actress across from her had a completely different feeling from her usual, serious, sister. What do you think? Emily's evil charm raised an eyebrow. Absolutely. But why is it so different from an ordinary sister? Is it a cute contrast or a multiple personality? Ah, both babies are here. At this moment, Ishi and Emo Jean walked down the stairs. Dad will have a morning meeting later, and Mom also has to rush to the fashion show to set up the decoration. She can't accompany the two babies to eat, what a pity. Emily blinked at Isha twice. Oh, younger brother, do you know about my sister? What? Do you also know? Am I the only one who doesn't know? I'm still not your biological one. Well, Ishi rubbed Monet's head. Actually, sister is also kind-hearted. She is trying to set a good example for you and guide you correctly. So, whether at school or at home, she maintains that image. Now that she knows, sister can also be more free at home in the future. I think it's just my sister trying to please adults. What are you whispering about? Nana, why did you pick out all the tomatoes again? Don't be picky, eat all the tomatoes quickly. Mommy, I don't like tomatoes. What's wrong with tomatoes? They are so sour, sweet, and delicious, and they also contain rich carotenoids, vitamin C, and B vitamins. They look so cute, I don't know why you don't like them. I guess it's because I ate too much in my previous life. The extreme will bring the opposite. Sister. Monet stomped his foot angrily. All right, hurry up and eat it. No tomatoes are allowed to be left. After finishing, hurry to school. Oh, it's almost too late. Dad, let's go. Dad Mo approached and hugged Mom Yi's small waist, walking towards the door. Steward Chen. Yes, miss. Butler Chen hurriedly rushed to the old lady with 2 large lunch boxes. Miss knows that the old lady is in a hurry today, so she specifically instructed the kitchen to prepare it last night, including lunch boxes in the morning, middle, and evening, along with Mrs. Note. Chen, the butler, solemnly picked up the note placed on the lunchbox and read it. No matter how busy you are, you can't forget to eat. My little Lily is still considerate, and my daughter is truly a mother's considerate little cotton jacket. This is not a small cotton jacket, it's clearly a down jacket. Mo Dad agreed. Alright, stop flattering. Your employees will have to leave work if we continue to procrastinate. Got it, goodbye Xiaoli, Momoda. Hey. There's also me. Monet reached out to the direction where the Mo couple was gradually moving away. I'm not really biological, right? What do you think, sister? It's hard to say. Mo Li took the backpack handed over by Butler Chen. I'm leaving, and you? Here we go. Monet grabbed a handful of small tomatoes in his hand, swallowed hard, and then stuffed all the small tomatoes into his mouth. Sister, wait for me. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Necklaces are. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. The name of Chapter 5 is. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The name of Chapter 5 is Na. That's a plain conversation from after a dinner. Dad, why did you name me Monet? Was it because you wanted me to become a famous painter like Claude Monet? Monet's tone was full of anticipation. After all, who doesn't want their name to have a special meaning? However, the result was receiving 3 gazes that looked like staring at a fool. Ha, did I think too much? Monet put down the cookie in his hand, patted the biscuit foam, and sat disappointed on the sofa. Monet, it means don't be helpless. Mom and Dad hope you always have a happy heart and no worries. Ishi touched Monet's head. Oh, I see, that's not a bad meaning. What about the sister's name? Emily, don't leave. My parents hope your sister will always be by our side. 2 daughters in control. Monet rolled his eyes wide. What about Dad's name? Mo Zhong, is it? Don't be sincere. Stupid. A chestnut exploded on Monet's head, and Mori propped herself on the back of the sofa with one hand. With a nimble leap, she suddenly sat next to Monet, while the milk in the cup in the other hand did not spill a drop. Look at Dad's strict wife, how could he dare not be sincere? Emily whispered in Monet's ear, like a demon whispering. What are you talking about? 2 little babies. Mo Zhong walked out of the kitchen in a pink lace apron, holding a plate of fruit in his hand, with a nuclear goodness smile on his face. Look. Emily bumped her elbow against Monet. Indeed, Monet nodded in agreement. Isher blew a breath in Monet's other ear. Mo Zhong, of course. Mo Boudoir. Monet was so frightened that he stood up straight, and hell was empty. However, there were 3 demon-like beings in this room, terrifying, extremely terrifying. Oh. Monet's spirit flashed, wouldn't it be called Moai if you had another one? Hey, why? Ishi snatched the durian that Monet had just held in his hand and asked while eating. Moai, don't suffer me. Bang, bang, bang. 3 explosive chestnuts arrived as promised. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. A close friend in a boudoir. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 6. A close friend in a boudoir. Mo Lee's notes: if the name is a buyer show, then the real person itself must be a seller show. Yi Jingya, her name exudes a tranquil and peaceful atmosphere of time, but the first time I met her was in the 3rd grade of elementary school. At that time, due to my father's business transfer, I also transferred with her. A super short skirt, dressed in heavy metal, but with a particularly delicate face. When I finished introducing myself and walked towards my seat, she stepped on my desk. "Hey, I'm the final say here, do you hear me?" "Oh. Besides that, I have nothing to say." I can't tell her that I saw the pink color she revealed from her short skirt. Something. All the students in the class sat upright and didn't dare to turn their backs, and the teacher remained serious on the blackboard, completely ignoring the situation. In such an ordinary elementary school, these students are either really bad, teachers cannot control them, and classmates have suffered enough. Either it's a campus bully with some money and some power at home. But this has nothing to do with me, it doesn't hinder me from becoming a good child, even if she is my desk mate. I sat down and wiped the desk with a tissue, completely ignoring the situation next to me. I took out my book and started listening to the class. "Are you not afraid of me?" A note slowly appeared in front of me. "Can you eat people?" "Of course not." "Hello, the sound is too loud." The whole class reflexively looked over here, and in an instant, they all turned back to do their own things. "Of course not." The note began to pass again. "What's there to be afraid of? If you're not afraid, then should we? That. The right hand while taking notes was subtly rubbed against by a head. "How about making friends?" "Well, I won't force you, and if I really don't want to, then sure. If you don't agree, you may continue to be entangled." That's how I convinced myself at that time. In my world, friends and emotions are very unnecessary things, whether they exist or not is irrelevant. "Hey, really can't you?" No, you just." Agreed. I don't know how such an ordinary human could achieve a sparkling eye, but the sunlight today is too dazzling. And what the hell is that subtle blush? Really, after I nodded repeatedly to confirm, she finally calmed down and lay on the table, happily burying her head in her arms. "My name is Yi Jingya, and you?" "Mo Lee." "Mo Lee." Yi Jingya turned her head outside the window, lost in thought. The gentle breeze blew the curtains, causing the girl's hair to sway with the wind. "You are my first friend, they are all afraid of me. It's not normal to be afraid of such a bad image like you. If you want to interpret it well, at least you need to wear a long dress that's good for hiding weapons, otherwise you'll see everything." "Hey. Is there another way to say that?" "Got it, thank you for your guidance, master." Yi Jingya took out her notebook with a dignified expression and began to jot it down. "I'm afraid this guy is a fool. Also, when did I become her master?" One of the notes from Mo Lee must not be discovered by Yi Jingya. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Deep in the Alley. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 7. Deep in the alley at around 11 p.m., Mo Lee was walking home with a pile of books in her hand. "Hey. I've been quite busy lately. I have been studying late until 9 o'clock, and this month it's my turn to be on duty. In addition, I'm responsible for the Blackboard newspaper, as well as some activity planning and data collection commissioned by the student union." Unconsciously, it's already this point, and only yellow lights are flashing on the street. This feeling of unobstructed traffic is also good. Let's take that small alley instead. Ding dong, I know you can hear me, open up the door, I only want to play a little. Mo Lee took out her phone from her backpack and picked it up. 9, when can we get to the old place? At the moment of the hour. Got it, the drinks will be prepared for you. Oh, by the way, Sand received a rumor during the day that someone hired a group of thugs to ambush a girl named Monet in the XX alley tonight. It seems like it's you. Be careful, don't. You didn't say it earlier. Monet looked at the group of people stuck in the alley, each with tiger backs, bare waist and tattoos all over. I probably know who found it, but at this level. It was hard to say. Ah. Did I say it late? Anyway, you just need to be careful, don't. Don't play too much. You'll be late later. See you later, dear. Doo-doo. Monet scratched her phone with a black face and then put it into her coat pocket. Oh, little sister. The man who appeared behind me at some point wrapped his fingers around Monet's hair. With such smooth hair, I usually take good care of it. Yes, I've spent a lot of time on my hair. Monet turned around and tugged at the man's hem, looking coquettish. Oh, little beauty is so proactive. Take the initiative and be good, don't suffer too much. Why, do you have time to play with my brothers? The male lead looked at Monet with a smile on his face. Big brother has already spoken, how come I don't have time? Monet lowered her head, seemingly shy, but actually sneered. Okay, okay. Follow me and have some fun. As long as you're obedient, I won't treat you unfairly. The tone was all revealing lewdness. That. You want to go back on your word. How dare you? It's just that. I bought perfume recently, and I want my elder brother to help me try it. I smell it and see if it's exciting enough. Oh come on, give it a try. This. This smell is. Big brothers, don't be polite. Come and give it a try. Monet quickly sprayed the water in the bottle under everyone's nose. What is this? How does it feel? It's a bit. Up there. One by one, they fell down one by one. It's a powerful sleeping pill cut. These people's intelligence really doesn't even need to be physically active, it's boring. Monet took out her phone, pressed the pause button for recording, and then opened the video editing software to edit it. She then imported it into a small USB drive that she carried with her. After completing a set of actions, I immediately dialed 110 and said, "Hello, Uncle Police." It's like this. On my way home from school, I found a group of people in XX Alley who have been extorting and molesting students recently. Well, there's evidence. I just secretly recorded a video on USB drive. Yes, that group of people is still in the alley. Okay, please trouble Uncle Police. Okay, the strong sleeping pills can also help them sleep for at least 2 hours, and the police can arrive in at most half an hour. Monet stuffed the USB flash drive into the hands of the young thug leader, took out the art knife from her backpack as she walked back, and cut off the hair that had just been touched by the thug. Just now, it was a scam. Who has the spare time to take care of this thing every day? However, that young lady is not a fuel-efficient lamp. On the first day she transferred to school, she just made a mess like this. In the depths of the alley, a person wearing a black hood accurately threw the coffee can into the distant trash can. I see. It's quite interesting. It seems I don't need to do it anymore, he said. On the other side, Xiao-Qi, what's going on? What did Shijio, code name for Monet, say on the phone? What else can I say? I'm sure it's boring enough to hear that tone. I don't think I'll waste too much time. Oh, that's really boring. How about we invite some mercenaries to have fun next time? Hee hee. Xiao Qibai looked at Yen for a second, and went to the French window with wine, looking at the beautiful women dancing in the downstairs hall. What do you want her to learn tonight, pole dancing or wine mixing? What do you think? She would definitely say, is it necessary to learn something that can be understood at a glance? Yen Air followed and leaned down on the glass window, looking down. Oh, look, that beautiful figure, Sai Gao. Xiao Qi raised his glass and bumped it against the glass window. Cheers. She drank a glass of strong liquor and said, "Oh, that's something we can't do. Our skills have been almost mastered by her. I don't dare to show off my skills in front of her either because I'm afraid I'll be exhausted or because she'll mock me for being a child." Who isn't it? Everyone in the room agreed one by one. Do you think Josha could be a robot? That kind of thing, with just one glance, we can replicate our behavior patterns and use them for ourselves. If that's really the case. Xiao-Qi walked to the center of the room. I really want to pry her head open and study it carefully. We'll die. And it looks ugly. Everyone made a neck-wiping gesture at Xiao-Qi in unison. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Transfer of Students. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Transfer of Students. The day before. Hello everyone, my name is Lu Xingyu. I just transferred from the United States and I am not very familiar with some domestic affairs. Please take good care of me. Wow, soft girl. It's the kind that looks very protective. I heard it's still Miss Lu. Hello, Xiao Lily, what do you think? Yi Jingya pushed Mo Lily who was painting. What do you think? Mo Li placed a very abrupt painting in front of Yi Jingya due to pushing and shoving. Wow, the beauty of the prosperous era of my King Dao Chang, hehe, don't worry, even so, I will keep it well. Yi Jingya protected the painting on her chest. That girl. Mo Li looked at the girl sitting in the right front row. How's it going? It feels quite soft, girl. The key is, Opai is very big. Please let your attention return to the right path. A hand knife landed accurately on Yi Jingya's head. Yaya, if you have nothing to do, stay away from that girl and don't provoke her. I see, is it like a white lotus? Yi Jingya rubbed her head and said. Well, it's mostly a mistake to transfer back from the United States, and I had to return home only after being fired. No wonder the expressions of the girls and boys around are different. Yaya, you are truly my desk mate for 10 years. I have made significant progress in recent years. Based on a person's expression and the natural reactions of those around them towards that person, one can infer their approximate personality. Boys and girls have different natural reactions when facing green tea and white lotus flowers. Then, observe her usual behavior patterns to determine whether she is a scheming girl or more than enough. Hehe, it's still my master who taught me well. Yi Jingya humbly scratched her head. No, it's been so many years. Am I just a desk mate to you? So. What else do you think it could be? Mo Li picked up Yi Jingya's chin with a teasing expression on her face. Wow, what a loving scene. Bad girls are being counterattacked by literary girls. Yes, the two of them unexpectedly matched very well. I don't know when it started, my eyes were all focused on this side. This guy is artistic. This guy is bad. Mo Li and Yi Jingya looked at each other disdainfully. Everyone misunderstood. It was Yi Jingya who had crumbs on her face. I'll help her wipe it, Mo Li said as she took out a handkerchief from her pocket and earnestly wiped it. A hypocritical woman. Be content, child. My limited edition handkerchief has been ruined on your face. The two exchanged eye contact. Mo Li is so considerate, she looks very good at taking care of people. Yeah, not only is he good at studying, gentle, but also good looking. He's my idol. Suddenly, a slightly aggressive gaze made Mo Li's hand stiffen, and the new classmate couldn't hold back. Is her target me or Yaya? I'm not a big deal, if it's Yaya, it's okay. After realizing Mo Li's concern, Yaya patted her hand. If she's Miss Lu, I'm still the granddaughter of the Yi family. There's also the Mo family behind you. If she dares to touch us, the Yi and Mo families will dare to overthrow them. That's right, but you've been paying attention to safety lately. It's best to have the driver pick you up every day. Of course, you also need to pay attention to the driver's appearance. Don't get on the car if you're not familiar with him. Okay, Mom Mo. Attachment. Dao Changwang also comes from the national manga under one person. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. The Result of Effort, Part 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 The Result of Effort, Part 1. Do you have a goal that even though you have worked very, very hard, you still cannot achieve? Mo Li looked at the tightly closed door and recalled what Mo Nai had just said. She was slightly stunned, unable to achieve the goal. What's wrong? Ishi walked over with 2 cups of hot milk. This child was a bit strange right after eating. Did something unhappy happen to him? It's okay, leave it to me. Mo Li took the milk from Ishi's hand. Mom, go rest quickly. There's still work tomorrow, isn't it? Mo Li gave Ishi a reassuring smile. Dong dong dong. Symbolically knocked on the door. I want to be alone and not disturb me for now, Monet replied with his head buried in his arm. Do you think I'll be obedient? Mo Li placed the milk on the table. Is it an unattainable goal? Anyway, a genius like my sister can easily achieve perfection in anything, so you can't feel my feelings. I'm not you, of course I can't feel your feelings. But I'm not as powerful as you imagine. I also have moments of helplessness and powerlessness, as well as things that I want to work hard to maintain but may fall apart at any time. Is it really fake? Monet lifted his head slightly. Sister, do you know? When I was practicing the piano hard when I was young, my teacher asked me why I was so obsessed with the piano, but I could only answer the reason, because my sister plays the piano so handsome. Now, when I think about it, I really had been chasing my sister's back all along. But no matter how hard I try to practice, I can't compare to sister. You can watch it and play it directly. There are specialties in the craft industry, that's all. Sister, you seem to have attacked a little more. The original depressed mood gradually improved because of roast. So, what are you worrying about this time? Actually. This. Monet slowly took out a colorful ink painting from his backpack. This is. Oh, hello. Lazily basking in the sun there is not bad, it gives a very warm and comfortable feeling, isn't that good? Note. Ouch, hello, is the name of a small gray cat in the family. Not good, compared to my sister's drawing skills. Compared to others, isn't it much better? No matter when, never underestimate yourself. Are you comforting me? Do you think I'm the kind of person who can comfort people? Actually, isn't it very obvious? Molly picked up the painting and said, your painting has a very strong emotional color, just like having life, and you have inherited your mother's excellent genes, and your imagination is also very rich. And I am just cleverly using painting techniques to draw something without personal emotions, and works without emotions cannot move people's hearts, sometimes even worse than a piece of waste paper. You should be aware that I have very little interest in anything, so I cannot draw a picture like yours. Even if we repeatedly achieve our goals and accomplish seemingly impossible tasks, we still have no interest in them. I cannot fully appreciate your so-called sense of achievement and joy. It's like talking to Monet, and it's like talking to oneself. It seems that my sister is much more pitiful than me. Yeah, so, what's wrong with this painting? Actually, I want to participate in the painting Olympiad. There is a recommendation spot in our school, and it was originally set for me. However, the teacher suddenly changed his mind and removed me from the competition. I have chosen another person. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. The Result of Effort, Part 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 The Result of Effort, Part 2. Actually, I want to participate in the painting Olympiad. There is a recommendation spot in our school, and it was originally scheduled for me. However, the teacher suddenly changed his mind and removed me from the competition. I have arranged for someone else. I thought it was because of my lack of skills, but my classmate said that when he passed by the office, he heard that it was because the students' parents were going to the teacher's place to give gifts, and the students' parents were working in government agencies and had a bit of power, which was why they changed people temporarily. Just like this. I thought it was something big. Emily breathed a sigh of relief and nestled comfortably on the sofa in the room. What does that mean? Don't you think it's annoying? Monet stood up excitedly. If it were me who wasn't as skilled, I would admit it. But even though I worked hard to practice drawing, in the end, I couldn't move forward because of this reason. This is something I finally found. Something I love. Isn't this very normal? The world is inherently unfair. Some people work very hard but cannot succeed, while others do nothing but have endless opportunities and easily succeed. Adults often say that hard work does not necessarily lead to success, but without effort, one will never succeed. What else? There hasn't been a qualitative change because there isn't enough quantitative change. In my opinion, these words are all deceiving children, because there is someone who is not as good as you, but more successful than you. But these are not what you need to worry about. Do you think the parents of that classmate can compare to the Mo family for money and power? Cut, I don't want it. Firstly, I hate that kind of behavior. Secondly, I don't want my paintings to get stained with unclean things during the competition. Emily covered her eyes with her arm and leaned against the sofa. So what was going on? Sister. Do you think I'm stubborn or even childish? Although there is a solution, I still. No, so far I haven't had a good impression of this world, but you always show me something different and novel. Does that classmate have a painting? Let me take a look. Yes, I have a photo, here. Emily took her phone and looked at it carefully. It's really cool. It seems your classmate didn't lie to you. Nana, do you really want to participate in this competition? Well, I really want to. Monet nodded in agreement. Well. Since you don't like that way, let me help you find another legitimate channel to participate in the competition. Leave all the other things to me. You can draw with peace of mind and prepare to participate in the competition. Emily walked out of the room with her glass of milk, her long hair covering her cheeks, and she couldn't see what kind of expression it was. Sister. Monet stared blankly at Emily's back. Sister, she has always been very impressive, always giving people a sense of peace of mind and reliability. But no matter how powerful a person is, they will also feel tired. What would it be like to feel comforted when my sister is tired? As my sister said, I often feel that she has no emotions, and even has no attachment to this world. So how does she view me and my parents? I always feel like my sister is very far away, just like she will disappear at any moment. End of this chapter.